Howdy folks, James Colina here, and today I want to help you guys create your book just like these. These are PDF only with bleed. They are 8.5 by 8.5, 24 pages. Okay, so I hope I can help you with this video. And you know the deal. Subscribe. Thank you. Today we are going to be working on a paperback, and then later on we will be creating our ebook. So we're going to start off with the paperback, and when you get to Kindle, it's an 8.5 by 8.5 PDF only with bleed and a matte finish. So write this down. We're going to need that later on. Keep in mind the upper margins and the left margins and the right margins and the upper margins have to be changed, expanded to allow the bleed. This is what a magazine cover should look like. On the right is the front of the cover, and then this on the left is the back side of the cover. Now, if you don't have the right size, it's going to fail. Notice how the black doesn't go all the way to the top up here. It needs to go all the way to the top and all the way across all in there. So here's an example. You see the red margins? That's how you want everything to be to fit in there. But we're going to concentrate on the book cover. And if you press approve there, it's going to take 24 to 72 hours before Kindle comes back and tells you that it's a failure. So let's get it right the first time. And this is the sizes that we need to open for the cover. It's 17.3 width and 8.75 the height. And we're going to focus on the cover right now, so we'll worry about the individual pages a little bit later in the lesson. So here is a copy that will absolutely be a success right there. It's all the way around. Look at the black on the top. That's the international book number. We will talk about that later. Okay, so that's how it should look. All the texts are inside, and if you press 24 to 72 hours, they'll get back to you. So I hope that was very helpful information. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is organizing your files. When I created my first book, I had files all over the place. I wasn't sure what type of files Kindle needed, so it was a mess, especially when I had to go back and edit something or a mistake I made. It was disastrous. So what I did is, I'm going to show you what I did here, and maybe you can follow and it'll work for you with whatever platform you use to edit and create your books. So what I did is I went to my desktop, I right-clicked mouse, and I created a new folder. And we're going to name this, just for the sake of it, we're going to call it Kindle. Okay, so let's open up Kindle. And right in here, you're going to name your first book. Right-click mouse and come over here. And I create a new folder. I'm going to name this my book. It's going to be called Kansas City. Kansas City Kid. Kid. Okay, now I'm going to click on Kansas City, and these are 4 crucial subfolders that you're going to need as we go forward in this lesson. So you're going to right-click mouse here, you're going to create a new folder, and the name of this folder is going to be All JPEGs. Okay. And we're going to create another folder, right-click mouse, and we're going to go to folder, and we're going to name this one All PDFs. And then we're going to go to do it again one more time, well, 2 more times. And this one's going to be called Characters. I'll explain later how that falls in. And then we're going to create one more, and it's going to be called a mobi. You're going to need a mobi for your ebook. So let's keep that folder ready to go and accessible. So let's just call it First Mobi just for the heck of it right now. You'll understand more about that as we go along. So these are the basic 4 subfolders that you're going to need to proceed with your book and have everything organized. Let me give you an example. Here's my desktop. Here's my Kindle work. I have it all here. And here are the names of my books. I like baseball, I like basketball, I like football, I like hockey, I like soccer, I like sports, and the Wizard of Sports. We're going to go to the Wizard of Sports, and here are the subfolders, all my JPEGs, all my PDFs, and here's all my characters, and here's my mobis. Let's go to characters so you get a general idea. These are the images that I used in my book, so that's what I call characters. And these are the PSDs. These are each page in my book that I created as I went along, and we'll get into details later on exactly about these pages. But let me give you an example here. Let's go to page 3. And Adobe's opening up, and there's page 3. Now, say I'm proofreading it, and I find out I made a mistake. Well, I can go back really quick, edit it, and save it again. So we'll get into details in all that. So let's keep that in mind. And basically, that's the way it works. There's my Kindle, work. That's my file, on my desktop. That will be easy to find as you go through the KDP dashboard for things and files that you need. So, all right, let's move forward, people. Okay, we're jumping right into it, everybody. So I'm here at my Adobe Photoshop. That's how I did it. I have Adobe Photoshop Elements 11. There's many other ways of editing your photos and doing the graphics and creating your text. Illustrator's good. Canva has a way of doing it also, but like I said, this is how I did it, and I'm hoping that you can continue following my steps here. If you don't have Elements and you can figure it out through other platforms, then do so. But I hope at least the beginning of this lesson that you learned a lot about this cover sizes, very super important, and also the organization of your files. So with that in mind, let's get going here. I am at Adobe, and I'm at the expert mode. Okay, and let me see. I like to show my tool options when I work. If I have the eraser, it's going to give me the different eraser sizes. If I have a pencil, it's going to give me the different pencil sizes and the color of my font, the font that I want. So there's a lot you can do over here. And I also like to show my layers on the right side. We're going to be creating layers here in a minute. So let's get started with opening a new file, a blank file. You don't need to title it right now. We're going to change this to inches. Okay, and we're going to create here, the height is 8.75. And the width is, of course, we all know that, right? 17.3. So now we have it. The resolution is at 300. The color mode RGB will stay like this on every image, so you don't have to be worrying about RGB. It's already done. If it's not set there, then put it there in RGB, and it'll stay like that for every image you open. And we want it transparent. So voila, we got our first paperback cover file size ready for images. But before that, let's go ahead and let's get a dividing point. So I want to put a little grid mark going down here, grid line. So let's see, how do we do that? I forgot. No, right over here, view. Go to new guide. This is a vertical. We want it up and down, so we're going to select vertical. Boom. and go back to your pointer tool. Very important, the pointer tool. It won't grab it from up here. You got to come right in here. So we're going to go to 8.65. Right there is 8.50. 1 over, that's 8.65 right there. So you're good right there. And voila, we're ready to go to work. So where do we get our images from? Well, there's many places that give it out for free, or but I don't know about free. Free to me is seems like there's a hook somewhere. I never really read into that or looked into that much. But I googled in graphics, and GoGraph came up, and I explored GoGraph, and I ended up going with them. And I feel better paying for the images, knowing that I can use them anywhere I want, basically. Let me see over here in the help section over here. There's a bunch of different questions that you might have a concern about, and the answers are right there. This is pretty good. So, can I use the image in a book? Yes, our standard license agreement permits all of our images to be used on book covers and inside illustrations, up to 75,000 copies. I'll tell you what, if I sell 750,000 copies of my book, I will gladly give you an additional license fee. Alright, so they have different pricing plans here. So there's a subscription here. It's $99. It's 10 images a day, up to maximum 300 downloads. Of course, there's these other plans here. Whatever you think you feel. If you think you're gonna be doing a lot of work with these people, maybe this is good for you. But what I did was the credits. I bought credits. For example, this is $35, and you can buy 25 credits. Now, an image is 3 credits, so it ends up being $4.20 for each image. Now, you can purchase one image for $5. So the more credits you purchase, the cheaper the actual, the images are. So, with that being said, let's go to my account here for a second, and here are some of the images that I've purchased, and there are a lot. Okay, so we are basically going to be working with these two, which I've already downloaded in the past. Let's see here. When you download, I downloaded this image here, and it's going to pop up down here in the bottom. Okay, so when you do that, you go like this and you open it, and you're going to right click mouse on it and save as, and remember the characters: desktop, Kindle, Kansas City Kid, characters. There's the number. They all start with GG. So memorize the last 4 digits, or rename it. I just leave it the way it is and memorize the last 4 if I'm ever looking for it. So I'm going to save that, and boom, I got my first image downloaded. And I like GoGraph, so like I said, you can shop around, but I like these people. Alright, so you guys should be pretty psyched up by now, because we are ready to create our cover. Okay, so let me emphasize that we're focusing in on a cover that's for a children's book. I mean, you can create any kind of book you want. Poetry, I mean, you can use photographs, you can create a book about your cat, and whatever. Your imagination is, it's up to you. I mean, you can do anything you want. In this case, we are focusing in on a children's book. Alrighty, so I'm going to go back to my tool options down here, and I am going to have my layers exposed, and here's my first untitled page right here. So let's get started. We are going to go press File, Open, and we are going to go to the desktop, and we're going to go to Kindle, and Kansas City Kid, and we're going to go to characters, and this is the first one we're using, so we're going to open it up right in there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go to select all, gets highlighted, edit, copy, and now this is the image right here that it's illuminated. We want to go back to over here, and we're going to press edit, paste, and there it is. So we're going to expand it over here. Maybe stretch it out, doesn't matter. In this case, it's not an image of a person, so who cares if it's stretched out. And alright, so I stretched it out, and I'm going to press approve, and there it is. We have the back cover and the front side of the cover. So what I'm going to do next is get my crop tool, and I'm going to left click mouse on it right around here, keep it pressed, and you're just going to drag it all the way across, and you're going to approve it. So here we are. Okay, good. Notice that we have a layer down here. All right, I like to create a separate little layer in the bottom and then put it down there. I always like to do that. So here's your layer. We're working on this one, so let's click on that one. Right now there's a layer below this one. It's blank, so we're not going to worry about too much about that right now. So we already have this guy in, so we're going to go to back over here, and we're going to get rid of it. We don't need that anymore. So we're going to go back to File, Open. You don't have to go through your desktop anymore because it already knows you're here. So we're going to press the wizard here, and we're going to press Open. Again, we're going to go to Select All, Edit, Copy, back to your wizard, and we're going to go Edit, Paste, and there it is. We're going to go back to the pointer tool, and we're just going to slice them in here, and we're going to expand them a little bit. And do I approve? Yes, right over here, I approve. Okay, so now we have the other layer up there. Okay, so that's the top layer. We want this one to be in the bottom, because what we're going to do next is erase all the white. We don't want the white there. So what we're going to do is go to the magic wand and click on the white and hit the back button, and there it goes. It disappeared. Now, do we want all this other stuff? Not really. How about this one? No. So we go back with the wand, press on there, and press back. So let's get rid of this. Okay, pressed on it, back, pressed on it, back, pressed on it, back, pressed on it, back. There's a little white down here. Pressed on it, back, and let's see if we can get this strip. Yeah, it looks like we got it. And now let's try it in here. Okay, we got a little strip in there, and in here, and let's see. Now this one you don't want to press back because it's gonna eliminate his foot there. You don't want to do that. So to get rid of that, you go to Select, and then you press Deselect. Now deselect is very important, because sometimes you could be working on something, and if nothing is working, and it's because your deselect is on or functioning, and you know, you can't figure out why nothing else is working, and it's because that little tiny thing there can ruin your day. So let's go, and we're going to press deselect. Now I'm going to go to my magnifying tool. We're going to zoom. We're going to zoom in, and here's the zoom in and zoom out. So we're going to zoom in so we can get really detailed down in here. Alright, so now let's get the magic wand now. Now we can really focus in here, and we got that little tiny blue that's ugly. Got rid of that. We hit the back button right there. Hit the back button right in here. Now if say you won't know, say you accidentally press that and then you press back, and now you're like, oh no. Well, just go to Edit, Undo, Delete, or you can go to Control Z, and that also will take you back a few steps, or as many times as you press it. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Now notice all this dusty stuff over here that's all ugly. Let's go to Select and Deselect. We're going to go now to the eraser tool. Here's the eraser brush. I'm just going to use this one, and we can go ahead and just erase this if we want. And you guys can really take your time and make it as neat as possible. I'm doing it quick just for the sake of you know, getting this video out, but hopefully you'll get you know, how the way of doing it. You can even click up way up here and get really technical. You can the brush sizes are down here. You can make it a little smaller, the brush sizes. Let's see, size, and press right there, and I erase that. So now you have this huge screen. Let's go to view, fit on screen, and you're back to normal again. So here we go. We got 3 layers. We have the wizard. We can rename this by right clicking on there, and let's see, rename is rename layer, and let's call it wizard. There it is. Okay, so we're going to call it wizard, and now it has its name right over here. So let's focus in now. Let me grab my pointer tool. I'm going to bring this in, and let's get another image in there. So let's go to file, and let's go to open. And like I said, we don't have to go through the motions of going through the desktop. So we're going to pick this one here. We're going to go boom, and there it is again. Well, let's get rid of this guy. We don't need him anymore. So we're going to go to select all, edit, copy, come back over here, edit, paste, and there it is. We have our balls and sports stuff. So right over here, you see how it has that twisty jug handle type thing? We can spin it this way, okay? And I want to come down a little bit with it right here. Now if I hit the control, I keep the control, not shift, just control, and then I come over here. Now I can warp it like this, okay? And we can do something like this. Okay, I think I had it more or less like this. Not sure. Okay, so approve it, and there it is up here. You can rename it, but that's the top layer right now. Now, there's a lot of white in here. There's a lot of white. There's a lot of golf ball. The baseball is all white. The soccer, this one's all white. So this is a very difficult print to use your magic wand on. So when you're selecting images, make it easy for yourself and get high, you know, look at this resolution here. This is when you press that magic wand, it's not going to go into the image. And I'll give you an example. Here's the magic wand. Look at that. If I press back, look how much it disappeared. Okay, so you don't want to do that. So let's go to edit, undo, and let's go to select and deselect. So now we have everything up there in the kind of like in the same angle I had it. So I really wanted this image, and I didn't care if I had to work on it to get it right. So what I did was I got my eraser tool, and I can even go up closer, and I got my eraser tool, and I just kind of did this. See, right now I'm going under, I'm erasing, and I have that image that I had up here. So I mean, I'm doing this really fast, but you can take your time like I did in my cover, and there it is. You know, like I said, take your time, zoom in as much as you want. But if we hit this the magic wand now, that whole ball is going to come out. Okay, you can erase everything, but look at all the others. You still got to do the soccer ball, the golf ball, and look at this white. That's not good. So anyway, we're going to go select, deselect, and we're going to go to view, and we're going to go back to fit on screen. There we go. So in my cover, the one I created, I had this image here was the opacity was let me see. This is the way to change the opacity. You come to the layer. Here's a layer. You're going to change the opacity on all the layers. In this case, we are going to change the opacity here. And we went down like something like that. You can play around with it all you want. And there it is right there. So, all right, so we got that done. And now we're going to go to text. So here's my text. Here's my the yellow is right now. I can change that if I want to. I have 72 points, all right. And I have, you know, I can choose whatever I want. Just for the sake of getting it done, we're just going to continue with whatever settings I have here. So let's go to, I'm going to use some text right over here. Notice a layer comes up here. So Right? Anytime you do a new text, you're going to have a new layer. So let's go with Kansas City Kid. There it is right there. I'm going to approve it. And right now I can just do anything I want with this. You know, I can make it larger, stretch it. You don't want to stretch it too much. You want it to kind of look kind of normal as possible. Okay, so play around with that all you want. Now press approve. Now I'm going to put a, what do you call, a stroke behind this. So I'm going to go to layer, layer style, layer settings, and over here we got 4 things we can do. Okay, we're going to do a stroke here. So the stroke color, the default is black. I'm going to change it to red, and then I'll press OK. And now over here I have the size. Notice how the image is getting bigger, the stroke is getting bigger over here. Okay, and then the opacity. So you don't want it that dark. You want the red barely to show. You can do all here, use all your creativity, anything you want there, and it'll probably be fine, whatever you like. Okay, so I'm going to press OK. And now let's go back to the wizard. So I'm going to go back to the wizard, and I highlighted there the actual layer, and I'm going to go to layer style, and I'm going to do a glow. Do I want an inner glow or an outer glow? In this case, I want an outer glow. The default is yellow. I'm going to leave it yellow, and I'm just going to increase the size a little bit. And there it is right there, and I'm going to press OK. Boom. There it is. That's kind of like the basic thing I have. I had more images on mine, as a matter of fact. Yeah, I created more, but just for the sake of this video, we're going to stop it right there. So what we're going to do now is fine tune it. I created these grids here. I'm going to create one more, couple more new guide rather, and horizontal. And I'm going to grab it over here with my pointer tool, and we're going to put it right around in there, and we're going to create one more, and we're going to create a horizontal, this one, and we're going to put it there. So basically this is going to help you keep everything centered in there. Okay, so let's, we can grab him, move him to the left or right. Let's get this text and stick it more up here. Maybe I want to come back and make him a little smaller, and let's leave Kansas City Kid right up there. That looks fine. That'll probably pass, and I'm gonna approve it. Now comes the time to save it. So what we're gonna do is go to File, Save As. Okay, we're gonna go to the desktop, Kindle, Kansas City Kid, and we're going to save it under the book title, and it's going to probably show up right in here. So we're going to save it as a PSD. There it is up there, Photoshop PSD. Okay, and we're going to name it A Cover. We're going to start it with an A because it'll always be on the top left of your filing system. So let's call this A Paperback Cover. Alright, so now we have it as a PSD. Alright, now we have to go back and also save it as a PDF. So save as. We're going to change this to PDF. Where is it? It's right under JPEG, PDF. And now we're going to open up all PDF folders, and we're going to stick it in here, but we're going to just get rid of this nonsense noise here. And now we have it as a all PDFs, and we're going to save it. This little thing will pop up, and you saved your PDF. There it is. Now you discovered somehow or another that you have a mistake in your cover, so you want to correct that. So now let's go to the desktop, and let's go to Kindle, Kansas City Kid, and there you have the PSD that we just saved. So we're going to open it, and we're going to edit it now. So you can do this with all your pages. That's why it's important to have the PSDs, because you can come back and then correct all of the layers. So we're going to go to Kansas City Kid, and we forgot to add an S there, and we're going to put in an S, and we are going to approve it. Now, guess what? We have to save it again as a PSD and a PDF. So let's go ahead and save this one again. File, save as. This is going to be a PSD. We already have one there. Now we're saving the edited one. So let's go back and file, open, and let's take a look. Now we have two PSDs there. Which one do you want? You want the latest one that you edited. So let's get rid of this guy. All right, good. There's the one you just edited. And now we're going to rename it just to get rid of that nonsense back in there. Who needs that? And there you have it. You have your PSD. Now we want to go back, and we want to save it as a PDF. So File, Save As. We're going to open up the All PDF subfolder, and we're going to go down here and save it as a PDF, and we need to go below the JPEG right there. It's PDF, and there's the old one, and we're going to save it. Popped up, and the new one is saved. And let's go back to File, Open. We have two of them. Which one do we want? We don't want this one because that was the one with the mistake, so we're going to delete it, and we're going to rename it. So anytime you edit a photo, you got to make sure that you come back and erase the old ones, because when you're downloading them or uploading them later on, it's going to be a mess. So always maintain good file consciousness, and so that everything could go a little bit smoother. So there you have it, my friends. So the next step is creating the pages. Okay, so we are now ready to start creating our individual pages for our paperback book. I have a file open up here already. Width is 8.65 and the height is 8.75, and I already created the guide points here. Okay, so let's begin. We're going to start off, let's see, by, I'm going to pick this color chooser here, and I'm going to pick like a purpley-ish. Yeah, that's fine. And I am going to say okay. Now I am going to go over here to my paint bucket, and I want to drop the paint right in there, and I'm going to come over here to my layers, and I'm going to change the opacity over to like maybe 78. That's fine. Okay, so you got that. This is going to be, this page here is going to be consistent in all the book. So I mean, that's the way I did it. How I did it. I kept one page. It stays the same. This content in here is what's always going to change. So let's go ahead and put an image in there. So let's go to File, Open. Let's go to, let's go to Desktop, Kindle, Kansas City Kid, and characters. I stuck some characters in there, guys, so we can do this. So I'm going to go ahead and open this guy up. And we know the routine by now. Select all, edit, copy, come on over here and press that one and edit, paste. There it is. We're going to get our magic wand. We've done this, and we're going to press back, and look, the whole thing went, including a piece of the ball. And at this point, you guys know how to work that to so it won't happen. So okay, I'm going to press deselect, and now I want to get to my pointer tool. I want to bring this guy down a little bit, and depending on what you are writing, you could put a lot of text in here. You know, it could be a poem, however you want to format your book, whatever ideas you have. This could be a storybook, whatever you feel. So here we have this guy here. I want to press approve, and now I am going to go to my text. To my text, I am going to change the color right away. I want to pick black. I'm going to come here, and it's at 72, and I'm just going to press right here, and I'm going to type in you. Let me see. You are the best. Okay, you are the best. I'm going to approve it, grab my tool, and there it is. That's the same text and the same style that we're going to use throughout the whole book. So that's how I did it. So the text here, what we're going to do with this text is we're going to select, and we're going to go to layer style selection, and we're going to put a stroke on this guy, and it's not going to be black. We're going to make it red. That way it stands out a little bit. Press OK, and we're going to make it a little bit big, just for the view, so you can get a good idea. You can also add a stroke. I wouldn't mess around with all these other stuff. A glow, outer, inner. You can play around with that all day. All right, so we just have a stroke on there. So what I am going to do is I am going to save this image. I'm going to save it as a PSD so I can go back and edit it. And then I'm going to save it as a JPEG. We're going to need JPEGs to create your ebooks. So we're going to get those files ready. We also need the JPEGs for the paperback. The JPEGs that we're creating here and now that we're saving it as, we're going to convert them to a PDF. I will show you how to do that later on. But for now, we're going to go to File, Save As, and we're going to call this page 51. Okay? And the reason why I'm doing page 51 and not page 1 is because I'm not sure in what order I want to put all my pages. What order I'm not going to call this page 1 and then later find out that I'd rather have page 8 where 1 was, and it's just going to create a filing mess. So what I do is I start naming them high numbers, all out of order, it doesn't matter, and then when I finally arrange the order, I will start renaming them in the order I want the book to be seen in. Okay, so this is a PSD. We're going to save it. And okay, sometimes this little message comes up. It's weird. So maybe just stick an A. It always works, or a B, whatever you want. But that works. If that message, I'm glad it came up because I can explain you how to get out of that. So save, and there you got it. I got my very first page. We called it page 51. Now what I want to do is I want to go to print, but before I print, I want to make sure any other files are closed here, and in this case we're going to close this, and now we're going to hit File, Print, and your printer should come up something like this, and you just want it to be actual size. I'm not going to press print, but as you can see, it's going to print the actual size right there. So when it comes out of the printer, okay, you want to get your pencil, you want to scribble whatever you want on there. If you made a mistake, fix it, but you want to write here page 51 or 51. Okay, and if you're going to give credit to the artist, what I like to do is go to the actual artist right over here, and his name is Julos. So what I do is I do a credits page at the end of the book where I give credit to all the artists. Let me see if I have that example right here. Open, and let me see, I have it right here, credit page. So right there, this is what I do at my very last page. I print this out. I give thanks to all the artists that helped me create this. So okay, so we have page 51. You printed it. You wrote 51 over here. You have the artist's name if you want to give them credit. And now you want to save it as a JPEG. We already saved it as a PSD. So File, Save As. There's your PSD. And Oh, I saved this in character. Okay. We're going to save this at all JPEGs. And you're going to create your JPEG down here. You're going to save it as a JPEG. You're in your subfolder that's all JPEGs. And there it is, 51. I'm going to erase all this baloney here to make it neat. And there's your page 51. And boom. So there you have it. You have your page 51. And let's open that for a minute. And so here you have page 51. This is your Kansas City Kid book name. You got your still subfolders in here. And then here's the very first paperback cover. Forget about this one. This is the credit page that I created just for this. And then this is page 51. And let's look at JPEGs. They should match. There it is. There's your JPEG 51A. So you saved them, that one page, as a JPEG and a PSD. Remember, PSD, you're going to go back and save it all the time. So let's create page 52. How do we do that? Let's get rid of this right over here. And let's import another image. Let's go File, Open. Let's go to your characters. And let's stick in this guy in here, the hockey guy. And you know the routine. Select all, edit, copy, come back to this page, edit, paste, and there you have your hockey guy. Let me bring him small as of now. And I'm going to press OK. I'm going to get my magic wand. And boom, I think he popped out completely. Oh, except for in here. And you can make it really nice by going in by this roller skates in here. There's a little white. You know, you can play around it. Here's the selected area. You want to make sure you get out of deselect. Oh boy. Okay, so now we are going to change the text to the man. All right, there it is. We're just calling it something simple for now, but this is where you would write your text and have whatever you want on there. So we're going to press OK. So now we're going to get rid of this guy. Remember, we eyeballed him out. There he is. We eyeballed him, but we don't need him for the next page because you're just going to create a big file over there. So we're going to delete that layer by right-clicking mouse on it, delete, and you say yes. There, look how smooth and nice page 52 is. Then you can go back and edit that. So now we're going to go through the same thing. File, save as. We're going to save it as a PSD first, and it's going to be in the Kansas City Kid album. So we're going to call this page 52, and we're going to go back 52, and there it is, page 52 as a PSD, joining these pages right here, and boom, page 52 is done. And we're going to go File. Oh wait, let's save it as a JPEG first. File, save as, and we're going to go to the all JPEGs, and over here you got to make sure you go to JPEGs here. Once you hit JPEGs, you're going to see all your JPEGs. There's page 51 JPEG and page 52. I'm going to get rid of this baloney, and boom, there it is. Oh, same little error message happened again. I'm going to put an A there. It works. Don't ask me why that happens, but I know that the A works. So we saved it, and now we have this image, page 52, saved as a PSD and as a JPEG. So right now I am going to go File, Print, and that's what you're going to print right there. Okay, so oh, and before you print it, make sure you get rid of that guy right here, because that will also print too. It'll print anything on here. So it is important to create your storyboard. That's the purpose of actually printing your book at home, because you're looking at it. Okay, look, this is my 83 page book. Okay, and there's a page for everything in here, and you know, it took some time. But here's my page 8. I have the artist names on there. Okay. And this is great because you can give it to your wife and she can proofread it, right? And then you can go back to that PSD, fix it, and then save it again. Erase the old one, save the new one, get rid of the old, and leave only the new in there. So yeah, the storyboard is one of the best things that you can do, and it really helps. And once you have your storyboard laid out, like say on a table, the reason why we save it page 52 and page 53, page 54, because you might not know the exact order you want your the book yet. You know, you might lay it out all on the table and say, you know what, I like page 54 before 56. You know, or just change them around. So at the end of the day, when you finally like your layout, your storyboard, you are going to rename all your files. So on this paper here, you're going to erase 52. And if you like this to be page 1, you're going to write page 1. And then now you go back and you start renaming them in the order that you want your book to be shown, or the way you want it to come out. Okay, so all right, so let's go do one more, and then let's see. All right, so we have 52, and now we're going to create a new image. So let's get rid of this guy here. I clicked on him, I took the eyeball out, and I'm going to go File, Open, and we're going to put in here, we're going to go to Characters, and let's go to here. Got the guy here, and there he is. We know the routine. Select all, edit, copy, back over here, edit, paste, and there's my Basketball Jones. Perfect. He's in the borders. He looks good. Let me get my magic wand, and let's go knock this guy out here. Okay, and a little dot in here. And okay, so don't forget to deselect, because it won't let you do anything else. You'll be freaking out on what the heck to do here if you don't deselect it. So let's go to select and deselect. Now we're going to change this text here, and we're going to call this guy Basketball Jones. There he is, Jones, Basketball Jones. Alright, so now, before we save it, we're just going to get rid of this hockey guy. Like we did before, we're going to click on him right there. It's selected. Go right-click mouse, and we're going to delete. We don't need that guy in there, because now this is going to go as page 53. Let's go to File, Save As, and here's my Kansas City Kid. Here's my page 51, 52. That's what you want to do. Just accumulate them like that. And let's go get rid of that baloney there. And we're going to change this to 53. Oops, 53. Here we go. And boom, page 53. And that's saved as a PSD. Notice that little message board didn't come out, and I didn't have to write a little A in there. Okay. So now we got to save it as a JPEG. File, Save As. Let's go to the JPEG folder. Let's switch this PSD to JPEG. And now you're going to have your page 53 ready to go. Perfect. Boom. Alrighty, so now you know how to do pages 1 through 3. And now you got to develop 24 pages in total, my friend. One thing before I go, I just want you to see an actual book, so that you can have an idea in your mind how the layout is. So I'm going to click over here, and here's my I Like Basketball book. Okay, so here's the cover, and then here's the front page. There's nothing there, so don't count that as a page 1. This is page 1 right here. In page 1, you can put an intro to your book. You can do anything in there, but just be aware that, you know, this is not like, there's nothing here. This is not page 1. This is page 2. This is page 1, and then it continues on to page 2, right, like that. Okay, so I think that is very important right now, and I want to pause this because I am going to go to the next step, which is to create 24 actual JPEGs and PSDs to increase the file sizes so that we have a good idea what to do next. So stay tuned, folks. We're almost there. Okay, so I did a lot of the hard work and I created now 24 pages. Well, actually 25 because I added my credit page on there. You're going to create your own. You're going to have your A paper cover. It's all there. And it's beginning, it looks a lot like mine now. Let's see. Wizard of Sports. And look at that. It's a duplicate. This is what you need to do. You can go back now and edit all of these. And that's a good thing. And let's go to Kindle, Kansas City Kid. And I don't like the way that's set up there, so we're going to do medium. And there it is. It looks just like mine. So, one thing I didn't mention before is I would create all of these first because there's going to be errors. And then after you finished all your errors and you renamed your book, the page numbers in the order that you like, then go back and then create, save these all as JPEGs. So create this first and then go redo your save all of them as JPEG. So create this first and then convert them all into JPEGs. So here's an example. We got all these pages that I created to make it simpler here to understand the procedure. And what's going to happen now is that all of these pages have to be converted into one PDF. That's how the KDP wants it. This is a PDF only style book from Kindle. So what we got to do is convert them all into one PDF. So I know there's many ways of doing that, but how I did it was I went to this company called I Love PDF, ilovepdf.com, and I signed up for to do my PDFs and to a company that specializes in merging all kinds of different files. So here is all the PDFs right here, and what we're going to be working on is JPEG to PDF. All those JPEGs that we just saved, we're going to convert them to one PDF. I am going to use my, where is it? Oh boy. We're going to use my app here. It's the same thing. You can have to figure out how to do it. And we're going to come over here to image to PDF. Okay, and we're going to, let me see here. We're going to open file. We're going to go to desktop. See how easy it is to find your stuff here. That's what's important. And here's all my JPEGs. So I'm going to select them all. And you can hold down shift and do them all by one. Okay. Do it easy. You want to do them one by one, or you can select them all. I'm doing it one by one here. And let's go to open. And I am going to have here fit, and portrait is fine. So here's all your pages in the order the book is going to come out. Okay, if you missed a page, you can come back in here and add a page. If you missed 5 pages, if you want to switch them around, put this one over here, that one over there, you could do that, but then you have to change the page numbers. So here they all are. Make sure they're all good. You can kind of view everything as if you had the book in front of you. What I do is I get my storyboard and I go one by one with my storyboard that I printed at home, and I'm making sure that every page is identical to my storyboard. Okay, and then when you do that, you're going to convert to PDF right down here, and we're doing that right now. Okay, and there it is. It is right there. We are going to go like this, right click on copy. Let's go to my file here, open. Let's go back to, now we're going to use this all PDFs again, and we're going to right click and we're going to paste it, and there it is. Those are all the images in one. See that, how beautiful? We're going to need that file when we download it into Kindle, but at least you know where it's at. Okay, it's in your all PDFs. You got your cover PDF, what you're going to need for KDP, and now you have all your prints right there. That's a beautiful thing. Okay, so we are ready to download your paperback on KDP. But this is what you need, these two. Everything is converted, all those 25 pages, and your book cover. You are ready for KDP here. And guess what, my friends? We are now ready to create your ebook. And if you can create a paperback, an ebook is a breeze. So stay tuned. So now we are going to create our ebook cover, and I have here, I have the 17.3 by 8.75 file open. This is the paperback cover magazine. So we will be using the half of that magazine cover to create the ebook. So the ebook cover is a 8.65 is the width, and the height is 8.75. This green area right in here. So this is the actual part of the book that we already did. So we already created that. So creating the ebook cover is going to be very nice and simple. So here we have the ebook cover, and what we're going to do is get our crop tool right over here, and there's my guide. Notice the guide that we originally inputted in there is perfect. Okay, so we're going to get rid of this guy. We're going to go to the cropping tool, and we're going to press down, keep it pressed, left mouse click, keep it pressed, and we're going to come down like this, and boom. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We have our ebook cover. Now, one thing I didn't teach you guys in the other lesson was to create more text on the cover. So here's the Kansas City Kid. If you want to duplicate that exact same cover and maybe add something over here with the same text, and so that you won't have to recreate everything all over again, we're just going to go over here and right click mouse on it. It says duplicate layer. We're going to duplicate layer, and now we can just drag that down here and redo it by going to text, clicking on it, and we're going to just go like this, and call it Cool Kids in Town. There it is. So now you know how to use the same text and without having to create other ones. And there it is, Cool Kids in Town, and I'm going to approve it. Now I'm going to save this file, save as, and we are going to go to right over here. We're going to save it as a PSD first, but we're going to call this B. We're going to call it a B. Start off with a B, and we're going to call it e-book cover, and we have it set up, an ebook cover, and it's going to show up. Let's see, file, open, and there it is, ebook cover. So the ebook cover needs to be converted to a JPEG. So we're going to open it up. There it is. We're going to go file, save as, and we're going to change this to JPEG, and we're going to go to all JPEGs, and there it is right in there, and we have the ebook cover located as a JPEG in the all JPEGs subfolder, and boom, there we have it. So the next step you're going to do, you're going to go to Google, and you're going to Google in Kindle Children's Book, and you should come up with this right over here. Alright, so you're going to download, if you have, depending on what you want or need. I downloaded this one, and you should get an app that looks like this one, and you're going to open it up, and you're going to create a new kids book. Remember, this is the ebook, so we're going to go through this step. Okay, so we can see how it goes. And we're going to hit continue. And now we're going to, the name of the book is Kansas City Kid. And the author, that would be me. Let's go put, James Colina. And you're going to pick the language that you want. Let's press English. Now remember that first mobi folder that we created? Well, this is where we're going to need it, because over here you're going to need a folder. It's going to ask you to have an open folder. So if you didn't create this folder in the past, you're going to have to go back and create it. So we already created it. So we're going to browse, and we're going to look for my first mobi. Well, let's look for it this way, for example. Say you're lost, you don't know where to find it. Go to your desktop, go to Kindle, Kansas City Kid. There's my first mobi, and then there's a select folder, and I have it there. So the next step we're going to do is go over here to this area. We're going to select one image at a time, continue, and it's going to say to import entire book, including the cover. I am going to input my own cover. Now here you can, if you go here, you can create your own book from PDFs. I don't use this. I have my own cover, so I'm going to come over here and choose my cover. So I already have it over here in my, say you're lost somewhere, go to your desktop, Kindle, Kansas City, all JPEGs, and boom, there's my cover. I want to open it up, and there is my first cover. So I'm going to add pages, and now I'm going to go over here and add all these pages up, and I'm going to press shift for this one, and I'm opening it up. And let's give it a couple minutes there. And there you have your book. You have successfully imported your pages. And you're going to go like this. And I like to put it down to 25%. And there are all your pages in the order that you like it. You might want to double check it with your storyboard. You know, you can change it like this. You can mess around with it. But basically, that's it. Now, you can do many other things in this part of the program. But since we already created all our text and our images in there, we're going to leave it alone. And once that is done, you come over here and you want to save it for publication. And just press save. That's all you need to do. Press save. And your book is ready for Kindle Direct Publishing. Okay, you're going to press OK here, and now you have all everything Kindle needs is right over here. You got your first mobi. You're going to load up this one when it asks you. It says mobi. Everything's in here. Don't worry about all those other pages. You're just when it asks you to download manuscript, you're gonna have that one right there. Okay, so you have all the books to everything that you need is all in here. You got your PDFs for your paperback, and you have your mobi for your ebook. So congratulations, people. You are officially on your way to creating your first paperback and your first ebook. Congratulations. We are now ready to publish our book. So I hope at this point you have the content ready to go. And we have our definitely have the files we need in our folders for the paperback copy. We have our paperback saved as a PDF, and we have our merged PDF located in our PDF only subfolder. And for the ebook, we have our magazine cover saved, ebook cover magazine, and we have our mobi ready to go, and those are all located in your subfolders also. So this concludes lesson 1. Stay tuned for lesson 2, where we are going to go to kdp.amazon.com. and we will begin actually publishing your book. So if you've liked what you've seen, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for lesson 2.